And then the unknown. There's always that with Jim. Honestly, I said this at the top of the program, Daniel, that the entire conversation I've had with everybody over the last 3 weeks from the NFL or Michigan, when they're guessing what's going to happen, was always finished with the phrase, with Jim, you never know. So with Jim, you never know. That said, crystal ball for me, what you think he's going to bring that we just don't see or we can expect to the Chargers, the, if you will, Clippers in this town when it comes to football based on what the Rams have done. And then just in this town where, the Lakers and the Dodgers are at the top. And Jim, as you know, he's not just going to be quiet. He's going to make these comments every now and then that Los Angelinos might be like, huh, really? From the Chargers coach? So what do you got for me on that front, Daniel?
I don't want to ever try and, think for him or guess which way he's going to go because it's unpredictable. The only thing I just keep thinking, it wouldn't surprise me, and I don't know how he would do it, how he would phrase it or what he would say. I would just say what stood out to me when he went to Stanford and he did not show any deference to USC, and USC was the king of the hill at that time. And there was no fear in that dojo, and they set their sights on them immediately. Then you go to Michigan. Obviously, it didn't start out great against the rival, but that was always center of attention. It was well known that they had the Ohio State drill. They didn't call it that, but whatever drill they had where it was 9-on-7, it was physical, and that was with Ohio State in mind. They were the bullseye. He put the bullseye on the Buckeyes, and eventually he conquered that one as well. And then once they had beat them a couple times and he'd fallen short in the playoffs, they had a Georgia period because he was like, well, this is, forget them in the Big Ten. We've got bigger goals here, so we need to prepare for this team and put the bullseye on them. And then he ended up winning the whole thing. Nobody, and rightfully so, nobody's dared say anything about the Kansas City Chiefs. They are getting ready to play in their 6th straight conference championship game. But I have a hard time thinking that Jim Harbaugh is going to go in there and say, you know what, guys, we're competing for the wild card. The Chiefs, they own this division. We're just going to try and we're the little engine that could down here. He's going to put the bullseye. He's going to put the bullseye on him now. And everybody can laugh because I remember people laughed when he did that at Stanford. I remember when the story broke. I think Bruce Feldman might have broke it about them having a Georgia period, and all the SEC people chuckled and laughed like, oh, Michigan thinks they can, look what's going to happen if they see the SEC. Well, nobody's laughing. So that would be my guess. Whether or not that got out or whether or not he said it publicly, I feel like that's the target.
Yeah, I was kind of moving in that direction to start the show as well. The one that I hit, I'm wondering what you think is at some point he might make some sort of offhanded remark at a podium about the stadium being filled with a lot of the opposing team's fans in there, and just like, hey, I noticed, we had to get ready for the silent snap count, and in our own building, and we're doing our best here, and we're keeping our head down, focused on the prize, attacking, with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. But, it would be nice, something like that, that variation. I think folks should get ready for that out here too.
I think that's a great point. That would not surprise me at all. I've seen the number of Charger fans since I've been doing that for 6 years. I've seen it increase just about every year. Now, at the end of last year, when it got away from them, that was not great. But prior to that, I'd seen, okay, they're making a dent. They're growing. This is a chance for them with this move, I think, to generate some enthusiasm and to generate some excitement and turn it into maybe less a bowl game environment and more into a true home field environment. And
before we turn to this weekend's games with you, Daniel Jeremiah, one last one for you here, not to turn you into our insiders and not to turn you into Ian or Tom or Garofolo here, but any sense who might be coming with Harbaugh from Michigan? Is Jesse Minter going to be the DC there? What do you got for me?
Well, if I'm going to try and jump inside Ian's head, let me just try and just.
Oh, right yeah. I like it.
Right about here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Jeremiah.
I think Jesse Minter would definitely be coming. So I would be shocked if he's not coming.
I like
can I
it.
slide back up? Okay.
No, you got to get up. Don't hurt your back. You got a long day ahead of you. So you think he's coming? He's coming? Minter's,
I do. I think that once you make the commitment that they made to Jim Harbaugh, I think that you're pot committed and you are, hey, what's the number? What do we have to do for you to be successful? I would imagine that would have been number one on his list, that has to get done.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.